Hey everybody, I'm Dennis. On this edition of Grilling with Granddaddy Daddy, we're gonna boil some peanuts. I did a YouTube short with boiled peanuts, and I got some requests to do a full-length video. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're doing a quarter bushel of peanuts. We've already put them in our pot, and we're just gonna put some water in there, and we're gonna basically put water in until we get the peanuts covered, because we want to be able to have them covered quite well for boiling. They'll float up a little bit, so we'll fill this about halfway with water, and then we'll shut her down. So this whole process is only going to take a couple of hours. We got the water, we got the peanuts in the pot. Let's get the fire lit. Okay, so we got our water boiling, we got our peanuts in there. It's probably going to take about 2 hours for the whole procedure. What we're going to do now is wait on the water to boil. We're going to get our salt. We're going to use probably about 1.5 boxes of salt. I'll show it to you. And once we get done, we're going to take up these peanuts, and they're going to be really, really good. Okay, our water's almost to a boil. So this is what we're going to be using. It's just Kroger brand iodized salt. It's 1 pound, 10 ounces. We'll use 1 box of this and half of another box. We're only dealing with a quarter of a bushel. So 1 box of this, half another box, and we won't have to let it steep too long. It'll be good and salty. It'll be right for everybody. Okay, when you go to check, make sure you have like a heavy glove or towel or something like that, because eventually this is going to get really hot. And we're almost there. So once we get it boiling, then we're going to start adding our salt. But be careful with this lid. Right now it's not hot, but it's going to get very hot. Okay, so we got our water boiling now. We're starting to soften up the peanuts. Let's put some salt in. Okay, we had to turn the water down a little bit because we got a good boil going. There you go. We had to turn the heat down. Now we're going to put in 1 box of salt. Going to blend that around. You see we're already back to a boil, and the whole goal, the boiling, is to soften the shell so that the peanut will accept the salt. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit more salt, because 1.5 boxes should do for a quarter bushel. Add that in there. And don't worry, if you add too much salt, if you get them and they're just so salty you can't eat them, just take them and get them out of your pot, fill your pot up with cold water, and just let them soak. And the cold water will extract the salt, and then you'll have edible peanuts. Okay, so we got a couple peanuts out. We're going to check them for doneness. Okay, the shells are softening up, but they're not quite there yet. Got a little bit more to go. Like I say, it takes about 2 hours for the whole process. And then once we get through softening up the peanuts, we're going to let them soak. And that's when they absorb the salt. And that's when they get really, really good. Okay, one thing you can do to check your salt content, you can take, let's get a spoonful of the brine. But let it set, because you got to remember, this is boiling water. That's going to be kind of hot. So you want to let it cool down a little bit, and you can take a taste and you see where your saltiness is. Okay. Okay, so that's good salty brine. That way they're perfect when we freeze them. All right, so the peanuts are done now. They're good and soft. We're gonna cut off the heat. We're gonna let them soak a little bit and take some of that salt in. All right, they're done cooking. Let me show you. Rather than pick the whole pot up, I just bring this handful to you. All right. And we're gonna let them sit and soak. Once they get enough brine to them, when they're the right stage of salty, we'll take them up. Okay, as I said, they're done. Now we just have to, we're gonna let them soak for about 30 minutes, absorb some of that salt, get that good flavor in there, then we're gonna take them up. So they've been soaking for about half an hour after we cut the heat off. They're plenty hot. Let's taste one. See how we did. That's some good boiled peanuts. Let's take them things up. Okay, so we got our boiled peanuts boiled. Now let's take them up. Easiest way that I do this, I put gallon freezer bags into a gallon iced tea pitcher. And then just pour in the peanuts. Then we seal them up, let out the excess air, stack them, and we wait on everything to finish up. So I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this, but let's go ahead and take up the rest of the peanuts. So out of a quarter bushel of raw peanuts, we get about 3.5 gallons of boiled peanuts. And we're gonna go put these in the freezer because they are good. And I got a bunch of grand youngins that when they come around, they're gonna be wanting to dive in on some. So until next time, I'm Dennis. And when I see you guys around the grill, we'll be grilling with Granddaddy Daddy. Y'all keep on grilling.